Let's play a game. What's the most dangerous thing you do every day? Is it texting while walking, trusting a gas station burrito, watching just one more episode at 2 a.m.? Sure, those are solid contenders. But the real winner? It's something far sneakier. Something so routine you probably do it without blinking. Literally. It's invisible, habitual, and slowly reprograms your brain while you think you're just living your life. And no, this isn't some abstract philosophical metaphor. It's very real and very dumb. Let's dive into the ordinary behavior that's quietly wrecking your body, brain, and possibly your entire vibe. Let's get right into it. Number 10, sitting still like a corpse. You wake up, you sit, you commute sitting, you work sitting, you relax sitting, and then, because your body loves irony, you go to sleep horizontal. So in short, you've become a very polite statue that occasionally scrolls TikTok. The problem? Your body hates sitting for long periods. Like, truly despises it. It's biologically designed for movement, hunting, gathering, fleeing from large teeth. And here you are, melting into your office chairs like it's a lifestyle. Prolonged sitting slows circulation, wrecks your posture, messes with your digestion, and increases your risk of dying in the most boring way imaginable. Sedentary death syndrome. Yes, that's a real term. Sounds fake, feels tragic. Worse, your brain takes cues from your body. Sitting still for too long signals hibernate mode, slowing cognitive performance and elevating stress hormones. So you're not just tired, you're being quietly sabotaged by your own spine. Basically, sitting all day is like chain smoking for your soul, but with fewer ashtrays and more spreadsheets. Number 9, breathing all wrong. Breathing. You'd think we'd have this one figured out by now. But nope. Most people breathe shallowly, through the chest, and sometimes even forget to breathe when they're stressed, which is impressively self-destructive. Bad breathing messes with your oxygen levels, your brain's clarity, and your entire nervous system. When you breathe shallowly, your body thinks something's wrong. Cue panic mode. Heart racing, shoulders tight, brain screaming. Everything is terrible. What's worse? We breathe wrong, especially when we're anxious, which just makes us more anxious. It's a vicious loop where your lungs gaslight your brain into thinking you're being chased, even if you're just answering an email. Proper breathing, deep and through the diaphragm, is free, legal, and surprisingly life-changing. Yet we ignore it like it's some woo-woo wellness nonsense. So yes, the most basic life function you have is often being performed like an amateur. No judgment, just inhale like you mean it, okay? Number 8. Endless micro-stress freakouts. You check your phone and see, can we talk? Boom, instant dread. Your brain floods with cortisol like it's bracing for emotional combat, but then it's nothing. A meme, an update, a photo of someone's dog in sunglasses. This is micro-stress, and you get hit with it dozens of times a day. A car honks, your inbox dings, your mom sends a cryptic, okay. None of it kills you, but all of it chips away at your sanity. The human brain was built to deal with real threats, like fire, or snakes, or Kevin from the rival tribe. But now, every vague text and minor inconvenience trips that same ancient alarm system. And what's worse, you don't even notice anymore. You're just simmering in a soup of mini freakouts, heart fluttering, stomach clenching, while telling yourself, it's fine. It's not fine. You're stress marinating. Basically, your body thinks you're surviving a war when you're really just surviving a group chat. Number 7, drowning in blue light. Let's talk about that glowing rectangle you love so much. It connects you to memes, maps, and your long-distance situationship, but it's also frying your sleep schedule like an egg on asphalt. Blue light exposure, especially at night, suppresses melatonin production. That's your sleepy time hormone. No melatonin alks no restful sleep, and your brain turning into a soggy loaf of bread the next day. Your phone is tricking your brain into thinking it's high noon at 11:47 p.m. And your circadian rhythm? Totally confused. It's out here doing the cha-cha while your body begs for rest. Also, prolonged screen exposure messes with your eyes, your mood, and your ability to focus on anything that isn't moving pixels. But the worst part? You know this. And yet, you're still reading this on a screen right now. It's okay. We're all in this glowing, over-caffeinated, melatonin-deprived nightmare together. Number 6, ignoring your gut, literally. Let's talk about your gut, not in the trust your instincts way, but in the you've been ignoring the microbiome civil war happening in your intestines way. Your gut isn't just a digestive system, it's practically a second brain, one that throws an emotional tantrum every time you skip meals, chug energy drinks, or treat vegetables like an urban legend. It's filled with trillions of microbes who literally influence your mood, memory, and mental health. So when you mistreat your gut, hello, sugar crash breakfast followed by coffee and anxiety, you're not just bloating, you're throwing your serotonin production off a cliff. And when your gut is unhappy, your brain knows. Cue mood swings, brain fog, fatigue, and the delightful joy of feeling vaguely unwell all the time. Ignoring your gut is like having a screaming toddler under the floorboards and saying, they'll quiet down eventually. Spoiler, they don't. Basically, every time you eat like a raccoon at 2 a.m., your gut takes notes. Angry, smelly notes. Number 5, multitasking yourself into oblivion. You're listening to a podcast, replying to a text, making toast, mentally prepping for a meeting, and wondering why your brain feels like scrambled eggs. Welcome to multitasking, the modern delusion that you're being productive when you're really just doing multiple things badly. Here's the truth, your brain can't multitask. It switches rapidly between tasks, and every switch comes with a cognitive toll. It's called task switching cost, and it's why you forget what you were doing 30 seconds ago and why your to-do list looks like a crime scene. Multitasking increases mistakes, kills creativity, and makes you feel more stressed without actually getting more done. It's the illusion of momentum without the reality of progress. Yet we love it, because it makes us feel busy, and busy feels productive, even when it's just noise. So if your brain feels like it's buffering all day, maybe stop trying to run 17 apps at once. You're not a computer, you're a flesh and bone chaos goblin pretending to be a machine. Number 4, emotionally bottling everything you feel something. You squash it, you stuff it down, you tell yourself, I don't have time for this right now. Congratulations. You've just emotionally bottled yourself like a vintage soda. Suppressing emotions seems smart in the moment. No time to cry at work? Shove it. Can't scream at your cousin during brunch? Swallow it. But here's the deal. Bottled emotions don't stay quiet. They leak out later through tension headaches, passive-aggressive texts, inexplicable fatigue, and sudden crying over dog food commercials. Emotions are meant to be felt, processed, and released. When you don't, they turn your nervous system into a hoarder's attic of unresolved feelings. And eventually, it all spills out, dramatically, usually at the worst time. Think of emotional suppression like leaving milk out in the sun and pretending it will stay fresh if you don't look at it. Spoiler, it curdles. And so do you. Number 3, scrolling into existential despair. You open your phone for 5 minutes. 3 hours later, you've watched 48 TikToks, compared yourself to 12 influencers, and somehow know everything about a celebrity breakup you didn't care about yesterday. Welcome to doom scrolling, the digital addiction that fries your attention span and feeds your existential dread like it's on a sugar high. Doom scrolling isn't just a time waster, it's a psychological self-harm ritual. You know it makes you feel worse, but you keep going, because your brain, in its panic-driven brilliance, thinks, maybe if I see everything awful, I'll be prepared. Instead, you just feel hopeless, drained, and vaguely sticky with despair. Your ancient survival brain wasn't built to process global catastrophes before breakfast. It doesn't know what to do with climate change, political implosions, and influencer feuds all jammed together on one glowing screen. So it panics, quietly, constantly. And you keep scrolling. Because what else is there to do at 1:42 a.m. besides absorb 700 tragedies and then cry over a dog reunion video? Number 2, neglecting sleep like it's optional. Let's talk about your toxic relationship with sleep. You ignore its needs, bail on plans, and ghost it nightly in favor of doom scrolling, caffeine, and just one more episode. Then you wonder why your brain feels like wet cardboard in the morning. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not something you catch up on like laundry. It's a biological non-negotiable. And skipping it doesn't make you productive. It makes you delusional, but with a calendar. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to memory loss, weight gain, heart disease, anxiety, depression, and even hallucinations. That's right, your Netflix binge can literally bring on reality distortion. Congrats, your body needs deep sleep to repair itself, regulate hormones, store memories, and clean out the mental trash from the day. When you cheat it, your emotional regulation crashes, your immune system flails, your attention span collapses like a dying star. But sure, you totally needed to stay up watching bread recipes you'll never make. Very important. Basically, neglecting sleep is like driving your car with the check engine light on and saying, it's probably fine. It's not fine. Go to bed. Number 1. Believing you're fine when you're not. This is the grand finale, the most dangerous, subtle, daily thing you do. Pretend everything's fine. You smile. You say, I'm good. You get stuff done. But deep down, your eye twitches when someone asks if you're okay. You cry during car commercials. You've forgotten what it feels like to actually relax. This is high-functioning denial, and it's wildly common, especially if you're the strong one, the helper, or the person who jokes about your trauma like it's part of your brand. You tell yourself it's not that bad, you're lucky, other people have it worse, but inside you're emotionally duct taped together, running on stress fumes and spite. Ignoring your own needs isn't noble, it's dangerous. Because eventually your body will force you to slow down through illness, burnout, breakdowns, or that random Wednesday afternoon sob fest that arrives without warning. Admitting you're struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you honest. And honesty is where healing actually starts. So stop saying I'm fine like it's a magic spell. You're not a wizard, you're a human, and humans need help sometimes. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.